Daddy's Bedtime Story.
My Fairy Tale Library, Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a sweet and beautiful girl who lived with her cruel stepmother after her father died. She also had two ugly stepsisters and gave all her dirty work in the house. The lazy stepsisters sneered at her and called her Cinderella. One day, all the girls received an invitation to the ball at the palace. The stepmother gave her two daughters the most beautiful necklaces, bracelets, and ball gowns. She hoped that the prince would marry one of them. Cinderella was given nothing. Ah, sighed Cinderella, if I could only go to the party. Her stepsisters and stepmother laughed at her. You? Join us for the party? Just look at yourself and the rags you're wearing. Shrieking, they stepped into the carriage and left Cinderella all alone. Sadly, Cinderella watched her stepsisters and stepmother leave. Suddenly, she heard a friendly voice. Cinderella, don't cry. Before her stood a beautiful, sweet fairy. I'll make sure that you can go to the ball. With her magic wand, she gave Cinderella a beautiful ball gown and glass slippers. A pumpkin was changed into a coach, and mice became horses. Now go, she said, but be careful, after midnight the spell will be broken. A few minutes later, Cinderella hesitantly entered the ballroom. She knew nobody and felt lonely just for a second, but suddenly the music stopped, and in a dream, Cinderella saw the prince coming towards her. With a grateful nod, she asked her to dance. Soon they whirled across the dance floor. They danced and danced and danced. Both beamed with joy. Then Cinderella suddenly heard the heavy strokes of the church bell. Oh no, it's almost 12. Cinderella left the ball immediately. She ran down the stairs so quickly that she lost one of her glass slippers. She jumped into her coach just in time. Surprised and abandoned, the poor prince stood on the stairs, holding her slipper. He was in love with her, head over heels. The next morning, the entire country was in an uproar. A courier announced special news. All of the maidens in the country had to try on a glass slipper, and whoever the slipper fit would become princess. Of course, the ugly stepsisters wanted to try on the slipper. Cinderella had to stay in the kitchen, but she peeped through the keyhole. She saw how the stepsisters crammed their thick feet into the slipper and chuckled. The shoe didn't fit them. Luckily, the prince heard Cinderella's voice. He ordered them to open the door and waved the girl in. Under the scornful laughter of the stepsisters, Cinderella put her slender foot forward, and the slipper fitted like a glove. One week later, there was again a great celebration in the country. With ringing and bells and trumpet flourishes, Cinderella married her prince. Proudly she stood in her glass slippers at the altar, and of course they lived happily ever after. The end. Wasn't that